Hi, this is I'm Jerry Jin, and what I want to do today is talk about the concept secure your resonance. And what that means is that your energies should be optimized and in balance if you're going to do any dowsing or doing any radiesthesia. And I will be teaching you in some future in some other YouTubes about radiesthesia and how to use that for determining your vibrational energy levels and to find out what things are good for you with the personal wavelength technique. But in my previous slide or previous YouTube, I spoke about energies and getting a feel for dowsing. In this one, let's optimize the energies in your body before you do any dowsing and get it into a harmonious resonant level. And this is what this YouTube is all about. And it entails three steps for the securing your resonance. And the first step is a simple statement with regard to getting your brain or your mind adjusted so that the two hemispheres of your mind, right and left brain, are communicating with each other. Your knowledge of energies comes from the right brain because the right brain knows the energies and feels it and sees it. Your left brain just works on the basis of your senses, so you don't see it and you don't feel it. So you have to get the two parts of the brain in sync, and that's what that exercise does. The second exercise that we'll be talking about is getting your vibrational level up so that you're truly your I am essence, vibrational energy level. And when that occurs, your dowsing or radiesthesia becomes quite accurate. And the third section is sometimes the environment has an effect on the energy flows in your body. You may not realize it, but it's always good to test for that. And so that's the purpose of that. And then if it's off, what can you do to get things back on? So let's go to the first exercise of getting the minds, the right and left brain balanced. It's a simple exercise. And what you do is that for women and for men, you hold the arms outstretched and you make the statement that I'll be reading to you. And as you make it, you pull your hands together. So you're joining the right brain, left brain, and heart. So what women would say would start with, I am inviting every thought within my left brain and my right brain joined together with my heart. I am. And that will pull the energies and get the resonance between the right and left brain and the heart. The men stated slightly differently. They start with the right brain. I'm inviting every thought within my right brain and my left brain to join together with my heart. I am. That's all there is to getting yourself into harmony with regard to left brain, right brain, and heart, so that everything will now be balanced within you, and so that your radiesthesia can be accurate and your dowsing can be accurate. In this next step 2, I'm also teaching you how to raise your vibrational energy level. And what happens with when you raise your energy level is that when you have a pendulum, normally your pendulum will, when you're at the personal wavelength, and I'll go through that in another lecture, it goes in a circle, clockwise circle normally. But as you state who you are, your I am everything I am. You repeat this. I am everything I am. I am everything I am. I am everything I am. And the pendulum will start rotating very rapidly. And then you may not know how to do this testing, but if you're a dowser, you'll know. And if you do radiesthesia, you'll know. In dowsing, you've trained your pendulum to go forward and backwards for a yes, and sideways, left and right for a no. In radiesthesia, typically a yes would be clockwise and a no is counterclockwise motion. So you can make a statement, my I am is more than 10%. And if you're doing radiesthesia, if it's more than 10%, it'll go clockwise. And then you can say, if it's clockwise, my I am is more than 20%. If it still goes clockwise, then you can continue going up until you reach 100%. And 100%, your pendulum is really rotating quite rapidly. In regular dowsing, mental dowsing, what happens is that you make the same statement, my I am is more than 10%. And if it's a yes, then you continue on to the next number, and etc. until, or whatever, whenever it stops, then at least you know what percentage you're at. It's always good to get to 100%, but even if you don't, if you get to something that's much higher, that is good. There's another affirmation that one uses to help move that I am vibrational level up. And it's a very good affirmation. And you say, I am rethinking, rethink I am, and with a little pause. And then you repeat that. I am rethinking, rethink I am, pause. I am rethinking, rethink I am. And the process of rethinking is that you're spiraling in your thoughts, so that your thoughts now move into your I am level. And if you repeat this, if it doesn't do it with 3 times, you do this, repeat this 3 times, 6 times, 9 times, and you'll notice what happens to the pendulum. It'll start increasing. The motion just starts increasing, and that's what you want to see. If you get to 100%, that's the ideal. So that's just to raise your vibrational level before you do any dowsing or radiesthesia. Just as a caution, when you're truly at the 100% and you stay at the 100% for even a moment, your pendulum just stops. Then you're at the center of stillness. Then the pendulums don't work at that point in time because you're in the center of stillness. It's like if you're meditating for 45 minutes and you're in that deep state of meditation, you're there. So it's at that state that you're at 100%, but you still haven't reached that center of stillness. That's just a precaution. Just if that happens, at least you know what happened. And then, so most people will just get the pendulum rotating quite rapidly. And that's all I do. I just get it going from a regular rotation to very rapid. And I just continue on with my radiesthesia at that point in time. Okay, if your environment, your house, wherever you are, is having an influence, and it can happen, you would make the statement in order to neutralize it. I am in harmony with my house is in harmony with me. And then you test yes or no if you're in harmony or not in harmony. And if you need a correction, if it's not in harmony, you can state, I neutralize, normalize, harmonize, energize, polarize this property. The property is beneficial for my entire I am being. And typically that does it. That causes the yes answer to be there when you repeat that I am in harmony with my house and my house is in harmony with me, and that takes care of the problem. Occasionally, very, very seldom, it may not, and then at that point you increase your vibrational level up to another level as high as you can, and you repeat the I am, rethink I am statements. You can do that 3 times, 6 times, 9 times. And typically when you state these statements, at the very end of the line, when you say it 9 times, you say I am, then your name, I am. That just centers everything into you, and then things will start happening. And then you're ready to douse or perform radiesthesia. And some dowsers will ask questions, and in some of these statements I made, they'll use it as a question versus statement. And Joachim has found that making statements is just a better way to check the information or check what's really happening. And so I always use statements now. I think it's a good way to do it. So this talk is just a precursor so that you will be able to do the other exercises that I will be giving you, because then you can learn your personal wavelength, how to do that, and know what foods are good for you, supplements are good for you. You can then test your vibrational energy levels. I've taught you a little bit now on that anyways. And then we'll talk more about the subtle energies of creation, and you'll learn more why that is really true, and the elemental elements, monatomic elements are of this energy level, and you can detect that, and these are the GANs and ORMUSes, and we'll talk about that and the fields they form, and you can test these fields, and they will form what I call 369 fields and BG3 fields if you're into biogeometry, but we'll talk a little bit about all these subject matters. So with that, thank you. And I shall stop the recording.